June 11th, 1962, 11:30 p.m. A guard's footsteps echo through cell block B. His flashlight beam cuts through the darkness, sweeping across iron bars that have held America's most dangerous criminals for 29 years. 3 men lie motionless in their beds, blankets tucked tight, heads resting on pillows, chests rising and falling with each breath. The guard nods. Routine check complete. Except the breathing is an illusion. The heads are made of soap and toilet paper. And the men, they're already in the water. The night Alcatraz was beaten.
Keep a sharp lookout.
Alcatraz escape.
Alcatraz wasn't just a prison, it was a warning. Perched on a 22-acre rock in the middle of San Francisco Bay, 1.25 miles from the glittering lights of the mainland. Surrounded by 48-degree water that could freeze your muscles solid in 20 minutes. Razor-sharp tides that pulled at 7 miles per hour. Coast Guard patrol boats circling like sharks. The Bureau of Prisons called it escape-proof. The water wasn't just cold, it was carnivorous. Strong swimmers would lose feeling in their limbs before they made it 200 yards. Since it opened in 1934, over 30 men had tried to escape. 14 captured, 7 shot and killed, 2 drowned. Officially, 0 successful escapes. Frank Morris, age 35, IQ 133, higher than 98% of the population. Bank robber, escape artist. The FBI called him a master manipulator. John Anglin, Clarence Anglin, sons of seasonal farmers, raised swimming in lakes and rivers. Strong, silent, loyal bank robbers who worked as a team. Their cells were cages, 5 feet wide, 9 feet deep, concrete walls thick enough to muffle screams, steel bars that had never been bent. And beneath the sink, a ventilation grate, 6 inches by 9 inches. Most men never gave it a second glance. He noticed something the architects missed. Decades of moisture had weakened the concrete around the vents. Morris shared the discovery with the Anglin brothers. They were in adjacent cells, by design or by fate, with spoons stolen from the cafeteria, modified into crude chisel, scraping concrete. Every night after lights out, while music played through the corridors, Frank, John, and Clarence dug, centimeter by centimeter, night after night. The dust was hidden in their pockets. During yard time, they'd casually brush against walls, shake it into the dirt. To hide the expanding hole, they made false grates, cardboard painted to match the vent covers. From 3 feet away, you couldn't tell the difference. Day after day, guards walked past and saw nothing. Behind the vents was an unguarded maintenance corridor, a narrow, forgotten space between cell blocks. Frank climbing rusty pipes upward through shadows. A crawl space near the prison roof, dusty, dark, abandoned, the perfect workshop. Over 50 prison-issued raincoats, stolen 1 or 2 at a time from supply closets. Day after day, guards walked past and saw nothing. Stitched together using stolen thread, sealed using heat from the steam pipes. Contact cement borrowed from the maintenance shop. Fingers testing the seams, holding pressure, making sure it's watertight. The finished raft, crude but functional. This wasn't luck. This was genius under pressure. They created dummy heads, made from soap bars stolen and softened, toilet paper as papier-mâché, toothpaste for texture, real human hair collected from the barbershop floor. They painted skin tones by hand, added individual hairs, strand by strand. Dummy placed on pillow, blankets shaped around it, looks eerily real. June 11th, 1962, 9:30 p.m., lights out. The prison settles into its nightly rhythm, stitched together using stolen thread, sealed using heat from the steam pipes, contact cement borrowed from the maintenance shop. Frank Morris lies still, listening to footsteps fade, counting seconds between patrols. He slides through the vent hole, barely wide enough for his shoulders, and drops into the utility corridor. John and Clarence follow, 3 shadows in the dark, no words exchanged. Alan West struggles with his vent, scraping frantically. Concrete doesn't budge fast enough. Morris makes the call. They can't wait. West will be left behind. They scale the pipes to the roof access. 30 feet of vertical climb. 1 slip and it's over. They reach the roof. San Francisco's lights twinkle in the distance. So close, yet impossibly far. They scale the pipes to the roof access, 30 feet of vertical climb. One slip and it's over. Guard towers sweep searchlights every 90 seconds. They move between the beams, timing perfect. They reach the water's edge. The bay is black glass, freezing, merciless. They inflate the raft using their makeshift accordion device. It holds, barely. 11:30 p.m. 3 men push into the current. No alarms, no gunfire, just the sound of water. They inflate the raft using their makeshift accordion device. It holds, barely. And then, nothing, just darkness and waves. June 12th, 1962, 6:30 a.m., sun rising over Alcatraz, birds calling, false sense of peace. Officer Lawrence Bartlett begins his morning count, cell by cell, everything routine, until he reaches Frank Morris's cell. Something feels wrong. The head on the pillow looks strange in daylight. He taps it, hollow sound. It rolls onto the floor, toilet paper and soap. The guard's face goes white. Alcatraz erupts. Sirens scream across the bay. Guards storm through cells. Alan West is interrogated immediately. Coast Guard boats swarm the water. FBI helicopters sweep the bay. Police comb the marine shoreline. The largest manhunt in Alcatraz history has begun. By afternoon, they find debris. A paddle, homemade, still floating. Chunks of raincoat material. A life vest, deflated. Personal effects wrapped in plastic. But no bodies. The conclusion is swift. Presumed drowned. Case effectively closed. The official narrative: they made it a few hundred yards and succumbed to hypothermia. The rock remains undefeated. Years later, marine experts re-examined the escape. Computer simulations of tidal currents that night. If they entered at exactly 11:30 p.m. and paddled northwest, the tide would have carried them toward Marin County, not out to sea. In the 1970s, the Anglin family received Christmas cards, unsigned, postmarked from South America. In 2013, the FBI received a letter. The writer claimed to be John Anglin. An old photo allegedly showing 2 men resembling the Anglin brothers, taken in Brazil in 1975. The History Channel commissioned facial recognition study. The technology suggested a strong match, but nothing definitive. The FBI officially closed the case in 1979, but they've never declared the men dead. Whether they lived or died, they won. The illusion of invincibility was shattered. March 21st, 1963, less than a year after the escape, the federal government announced Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary would close. Today, 1.5 million tourists visit Alcatraz every year, and they all ask the same question: did they make it? To this day, no one knows for certain what happened in the freezing waters of San Francisco Bay on the night of June 11th, 1962. They turned spoons into excavation tools, soap into decoys so convincing that guards never suspected. They defeated Alcatraz with patience, planning, and intelligence. And whether they lived or died, they proved something. No prison is truly escape-proof. Not when you're facing the human will to be free. Frank Morris, still listed as missing. John Anglin, still listed as missing. Clarence Anglin, still listed as missing. The night Alcatraz was beaten,